5 years of progressive India. I, Payal Chauhan, welcome you all on behalf of HIMCOSTE, Himachal Pradesh Council for Science, Technology and Environment to the celebration of this year-long program, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. As a part of this program, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India started 1 month, 1 theme initiative for the state councils all over India. Theme for this month is intellectual property rights. Now, before we proceed further, it's my immense pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Sri Satpal Diwanji, Additional Chief Director, Environment, Science and Technology, and Joint Member Secretary, HIMCOSTE. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Next, I would like to extend my warm welcome to our speakers for today's program. Dr. Bhasandrai, Student Welfare Officer cum Principal Scientist in Plant Breeding at Chaudhry Shravan Kumar, Himachal Pradesh, Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Palampur, and Chairman of IPR Cell at the University. Professor Sudhir Kumar, Professor and Head in Department of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics at JayPee University of Information Technology, Waknaghat, Solan. Dr.Shashi, Senior Scientific Assistant at HIMCOSTE and Coordinator of Himachal Pradesh Patent Information Center. Thank you so much to all the esteemed speakers for taking time out of your packed schedule. Before taking program ahead, I would request our chief guest, Sri Satpal Diwanji, to kindly inaugurate the session with few words.
Thank you, Payal. Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible to everyone. So,
yes,
as you are aware that India is celebrating 75th year of its independence, and as part of its year-long celebrations on the eve of this Golden Jubilee. So the HIMCOSTE is basically has actually organized different programs covering different aspects of science and technology throughout the year. And the today's theme, which the ministry has decided, is the intellectual property rights. So I would like to greet today's speakers, Dr. Bhasandrai. She's from HP-KV Palampur. Then we have Professor Sudhir Kumarji, who is just sitting by my side. Then we have Dr.Shashi, who is in charge of Patent Information Center in HIMCOSTE itself. So I extend a very warm welcome and my greetings to you all. I also welcome all the participants for joining us virtually, and it's basically I think it's a opportunity for all of us to gain more insights into the IPR. So if we just talk about the IPR, it mainly refers to conferring of a legal right for the creations or the inventions by the inventors. So it's really important, and basically it enables the IPR enables the individuals or the institutions to use their inventions or these creations. And in India also this IPR ecosystem is now is growing. And if we just look at the administrative procedures or the laws which govern the IPR, so most of these laws they have roots in Europe. And if we just take our example of, for example, for us in India, so most of our Indian laws, they also follow the British system. So the same is true for the patent system. So we also follow the British patent system. So our patent act is I think more than 150 years old now. But with the globalization, with the flow of products, goods, or even the technology across the borders, among us different nations. So India has also amended its laws and even enacted new acts. For example, we have a very important piece of legislation, that is Geographical Indications of Goods Act. So this is something about, in contributing for the development of a country's economy, promoting a healthy competition, and protecting the individual or institutions, the inventions, and allow them to harvest, or to reap the commercial benefits of their inventions. So I'm glad to inform you that, in like Government of India has set up patent information centers across the country, in most of the states, and we also have a patent information center within HIMCOSTE, which is headed by my colleague Dr.Shashi ji, and we also have set up, IPR cells across the state. I think we have 14 IPR cells. Some of them, they are dormant, but some of them they are active. So still, there needs to be, they need to be activated. We need to conduct more awareness to to make the people aware about the IPR, and it's really important for the R&D, specifically for the industries or for the educational institutions, those who are involved in the R&D activities. So I would also like to share one thing here, that within HIMCOSTE in Himachal, we have, our center has actually registered now 9 unique products, which are unique to Himachal, certain locations. For example, Kullu salt, Kangra tea. This year also, the government has actually given us the mandate of registering 9 more such unique products, that includes the musical instruments, or the Kinari jewelry, or Silvari Lohiya, which are unique to the Himachal. So we are in process of, preparing these applications, and hopefully we'll get GIA for these products also. Similarly, I think for the last couple of years we are getting more and more applications for patent search, and our team within HIMCOSTE, our center, they does this patent search to ascertain the novelty of or the originality of these the patents which are proposed. And I'm glad to inform you that I think for the last couple of years we have done more than 40 patent search, and we have shared those results with the applicants. So we are quite open, within our center is basically is trying to strengthen the IPR ecosystem across the state through IPR cells, and we are also planning to hopefully conduct more awareness workshops in consultation with the IPR cells, which are in different institutions, the universities. I'll not speak much, but since the topic is very important, and particularly for those young researchers or the young entrepreneurs who are actually interested to embark upon, or to take forward their ideas, they have some innovative ideas, they are doing some R&D on their ideas. So it's really important for them to understand the legislations, the administrative procedures involved, so that they should be benefited out of this. So once again, I thank you all, and I hope that today's webinar would be beneficial to all the participants, and we have very experienced speakers. So please listen to our speakers carefully, and just enjoy the sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind and encouraging words. Now, I will turn the time over to our first presenter, Dr. Bhasandrai, Student Welfare Officer, cum Principal Scientist in Plant Breeding at CSKHPKV Palampur, and Chairman of IPR Cell at CSKHPKV. Man has done PhD in genetics from Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana. She has released 20 varieties in different crops like rice, chickpea, lentil, cowpea, etc. She has contributed to development of several genetic stocks which have been registered with NDPGR. Man has received many prestigious awards such as Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Best Women Scientist Award, ICAR Jawaharlal Nehru Best Thesis Award for PhD in Genetics. Man will speak on topic status of IPRs and CSKHPKV Palampur.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, can you see the slides? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes, ma'am. You are audible and your presentation is visible.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, uh, today's chairman of this meeting, Shri Satpal Dhiman, Additional Secretary of Himachal Pradesh and Joint Member Secretary of HIMCOSTE, Professor Sudhir Kumar Syal, the coordinator of IPR cell, Mr. Shashidhar ji, Senior Scientific Assistant from HIMCOSTE, Ms. Payal Chauhan, Senior Scientific Assistant from HIMCOSTE, Shri Jaygopal Sharma ji, and the other students and all the audience. So I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak on the occasion of on Vigyan Utsav of Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. Myself, as Madam Payal has given the information, because I am having some echo problem in my computer. So I think everybody can hear me. So myself is Dr. Bhasandrai. Presently, I am Student Welfare Officer and Chairperson of the IPR cell of CSKHPKV Palampur. So I welcome you all for this meeting. देवभूमि हिमाचल अमूल्य संपदा का भंडार, उनका संरक्षण ग्रामीणों के उत्थान का आधार। कृषि विश्वविद्यालय का यही प्रयास, प्रत्येक कृषक का हो सही विकास। These are some of the couplets which are mostly cited, and you must have already heard also by the Honorable Vice Chancellor of CSKHPKV Palampur. And these are cited because we are having lot of human diversity in our Himachal Pradesh, and we all know that Himachal Pradesh is full of diversity, and every step of this university is towards the upliftment of the farmers of the state and to use this diversity in the right direction. So it is my proud privilege to discuss the achievements of CSKHPKV with relation to IPR and efforts being taken further for the intellectual property right issues. As we all know that HP is a hilly state located in the western track, spread over the sprawling mountains, landscapes from low hills, tropical to high mountains with wider climate diversity. And there is a lot of diversity. We can see uh, there are low hills, high hills, some are snow covered, and there are in some areas there is a lot of rains. So every type of diversity can be seen in Himachal Pradesh. And we all know that Himachal Pradesh is known for its rich wealth of biodiversity, culture, folklores, artifacts, cuisines, recipes, and it is a natural habitat of many plants and animal species, and of course the traditional knowledge. Thus, it is a rich repository of flora and fauna. So you can see in this slide also, we have cold water fishes, we have the hot water fish, flora is also there, microbial flora which is present in hot springs. We have different types of crops and most of the, like we see the rice, red rice is very important. Different types of beans are there. And if I will just give you the information that there are more than 300, 400 lines which have been identified, which have been collected from Himachal Pradesh itself, of different colors, rajmas, different size, different taste, everything. Likewise, in animal also, we have lots of flora, fauna in Himachal Pradesh. If you say any crop which has been originated from these areas, we are having lot of variability. And all these commodities, they are very unique, and we have to protect this. And our Honorable Vice Chancellor, he has initiated focusing on all the IPR issues in all the fields, whether it is agriculture, veterinary, home science, or basic sciences. And because every field is having some unique commodities with respect to IPR. And one thing we must keep in mind, that now nothing is free. Earlier we used to exchange our germplasm, but now nobody is going to spare their germplasm or diversity. So whatever we are having, we have to protect, and we have to encash whatever knowledge we are having, whatever commodities we are having, we have to encash from those knowledge or those commodities we have. So no free lunch any longer. And we know that if we are not protecting our germplasm, we are not protecting our flora and fauna, it will be lost one day, as we have seen in case of neem, in case of basmati, in case of haldi, and lot of efforts were were put to revoke the patents which were submitted by the other countries. And that also, these patents of haldi and basmati, neem, etc., they were revoked because these informations were available, and these were somewhat recorded in our Vedas, and because of those informations, we could revoke the patents of all these commodities. And thus, there is really a need to go for intellectual property rights. Whatever we are having in our mind, we should share at a particular time when it is to be shared. Otherwise, it will be taken by other persons, and we will be losing our efforts. So, in this picture, you can see that if we are not protecting our commodities, or we are not protecting our crops, our flora and fauna's diversity, then we will be in there will be no way for us. So we have to protect all these commodities. So first of all, in case of IPRs, we know that trademark is an important part, and every university or every business persons, they have their own trademarks. And likewise, Himachal Pradesh Agriculture University, we are also having our own trademark in the name of HIMCOSTE, which has been registered, and all the varieties or products of these universities, they are being released and sold under this trademark HIMCOSTE. So earlier it was named as only Palam, but again when it was sent for registration, there was another another region in in the Gujarat state, and they were also having the same name Palam. So it was rejected, and again it was submitted as HIMCOSTE. So this HIMCOSTE trademark is for Himachal Pradesh Agriculture University Palampur, and each and every variety which is being released, or any product, it will be under the name of HIMCOSTE. So likewise, our university has initiated for preserving the land races, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, he is very much interested in for protecting the land races and the other diversity which is prevalent in Himachal Pradesh. And you must know that three land races of maize, Rati, Hachi Kukudi, and Chitkan. It has been registered under Farmers Varieties Plant Protection Variety and Farmers' Right Act, and the farmers of that particular region, they received the Plant Genome Savior Award. These land races are from Chamba, Saloni, and it was the award was given by the then Agriculture Minister. Likewise, recently, just in last year, this we all know that red rice is also a very important crop of this state, and because of its high iron and zinc content, this variety red rices, they are very important. So farmers of Chohatu village in Dodu district of Shimla, they were growing the red rice, local land race Chohatu, from very for the long time, and it was in 2013 this Chohatu red rice was registered under PPV FRA, because if we are registering our varieties under PPV Plant Protection Variety and Farmers' Right Act, then we can have hold on that. So it will be under our name. And this Chohatu variety, and after 5-6 years, it was observed that the farmers of that particular area, they applied for Plant Genome Savior Award, because this award is given for the persons, for the group who are maintaining and conserving and preserving these local land races and local commodities. And ICR is giving these awards. That is Plant Genome Savior Award was given to the farmers of Rodu district for preserving the red rice. And when this award was given and the red rice variety was registered, after that there was a great jump in their sale also. Because once the variety is registered, it comes under national and international level, and it is open for a national and international awareness is there for those varieties, and thus these varieties, they got momentum, and it was the farmers, they also started getting more price for these red rice. So with the concerted efforts of our university scientists, we got also this Kangra tea of Kangra Valley. It was got registered, and CSKHPKV has been instrumental in identifying and getting GI for commercial exploitation of this Kangra tea. As already it was, the information was given that more than 9 uh, commodities they have got the GI, and we are also our university is instrumental in getting the GI of Kangra tea, as well as for Himachali Kala Jeera, the scientists of Himachal Pradesh, they were instrumental in identifying and getting the GI for the commercial exploitation of Kangra Kala Jeera. And now the Kala Jeera is mostly grown in Sangla Valley, and it is grown in open in the forest areas. Now we are trying to grow these in our labs also, and so that we can get more amount of these Kala Jeera. So, and the Sangla Valley, where our station is also there in Himachal. We are having one station in Sangla also. So scientists from Sangla Valley, they are working on this commercial exploitation of Kala Jeera by growing, because there is some problem of germination of these Kala Jeera, and we are using tissue culture methodology for getting the more and more seeds. Likewise, in red rice of Himachal Pradesh, as I have already told you that this is very important crop of the state, and farmers are getting more remuneration, more business from these red rices because of their more iron and zinc content. And in collaboration of HIMCOSTE, we are applying for the GI of red rice. Earlier, Japonica red rice GI application was submitted, But since japonica is it is only for particular area, those rices. So we are again submitting the application for red rice for this for GI in the state. So as far as plants are concerned, we are moving towards uh, in a good direction. But in animals also, this year our scientists from veterinary sciences, College of Veterinary Sciences, with the concerted efforts of the scientists of the College of Veterinary Sciences, Mr. Nandu Ram, a just simple farmer, Gaddi farmer, he was awarded this national award from ICR and by for protecting the sheep, Gaddi sheeps, uh, in his you can say in his custody, because for the last many years he was having only very small number of sheep, but with the efforts of university of our university, the number of sheep were increased, and he got the ICR award for बकरी सुधार परियोजना के अंदर उसको अवार्ड मिला for conserving the sheep. Likewise, we have the other fauna of Himachal Pradesh. We are we have registered the animal breeds like which are very unique. Gaddi sheep we have got registration. Rampur Bushehr sheep, Gaddi goat, Chibu goat, Spiti horse, Spiti donkey, Himachali Pahadi cattle, Gojri buffaloes. These have also been registered with NAB, National Bureau of Plant Animal Genetic Resources, NBAGR, and we have got the registration number for this. And still, the products which have been being obtained from these, they are also being got. We are trying to get the GI for the products which we are obtaining from these animals. With the you can say that uh, advances in molecular genetics and biotechnology, some sequences which are especially for a particular purpose, like for cold tolerance, for drought tolerance, and for barcoding. So those sequences are also very important. Nowadays, we have to register those sequences also for that, so that we can have hold on those sequences also. So some sequences like for messenger RNAs, cDNA, complementary DNA, these sequences they have been registered with NCBI, and more than 192 sequences they have been registered. And these sequences they are for particular uh, character. These gene sequences they are controlling particular character, and those genes can be further transferred to any other uh, organisms. So as far as patents are concerned, we are our universities, because we are working on mostly with the living organisms. So patents are not granted for the living organism, but still the processes or technologies uh, which we are doing in this our universities, they have been patented, and we have got 5 patents in different areas, different technologies. For example, a herbal dye and a process for preparation has been, we have got patent for that process for the manufacturing of emulsifiable concentrate from citrus waste, then improved tissue chamber assembly for isolated organ path apparatus, and method of preparing a liquid biofertilizer formulations. And another patent we have submitted, that is improved process for utilization of chromosome elimination technique following triticum aestivum apparatus cylindrica system for the protection of double haploid population. So this is a special technology which our Honorable Vice Chancellor has developed, and we have submitted for the patenting of this technology, and it is under process. So these are some of the certificates. You can see the certificates which we have got in our university. And likewise, with the concerted efforts of our scientists of Department of Plant Breeding and Genetics and Vegetable Department, more than 200 varieties have been released by the State Variety Release Committee, and they have been notified by the Central Variety Release Committee also. And those, once the variety is notified under CVRC, then it has to be submitted, it has to be registered with Plant Protection of Plant Variety and Farmers' Right Act, and this has to be submitted. And in this area also, our scientists, they have registered more than 27 varieties of different crops like wheat, maize, rice, and then Indian mustard, linseed, any variety which we have released, and it is not 15 years old. Those varieties, they have been registered with PPV-FRA, and the process is going on. We are in a mode of registering more and more varieties with PPV-FRA. 27 varieties. We have got the certificates for 27 varieties of different field pea, chickpea, wheat, and these varieties. So these have been registered, and this is one of the most important part in IPR also, in case of living organism or in case of varieties, that we have to register it with the PPV-FRA, whether it is a local landrace or whether it is a variety which have been notified by the CVRC, it is to be registered with PPV-FRA, because the seed of those varieties will be coming in the seed chain. Otherwise, the other varieties which are not registered, they will be not in the seed chain in near future. So all the new varieties which we are releasing for the last 4 or 5 years, we are getting registration for under PPV-FRA. So likewise, we know the importance of plant germplasm also. Whatever germplasm we are producing by making process or by using the land races or using some different area. So these germplasm having a unique character. For example, maybe for powdery mildew resistance or rust resistance. So these germplasm is also to be registered with the NBPGR, and most of the lines which are some of the wild species which are available in Himachal also, we are trying to register these species and these germplasm for the benefit of the farmers and for the benefit that nobody should take this germplasm, and if they start using that, then our hold is lost. Likewise, this red rice, even the farmers' varieties, they can be registered, or the local land races, as we have seen in case of maize, hachi, rati, kukudi, and in case of rice, Johar2 has been registered with the PPV-FRA. And now we are trying for these Kali, Jhini, Matali, Jatu, RR575, which are the farmers' varieties from different areas, like Matali is from Kullu, Jatu is from Kullu, and RR575, it is from District Mandi. So these are to be registered, and we have submitted the proposal for registration of these varieties. And likewise, many other varieties, local land races of different crops, like in case of Rajmash also, we are trying to get those lines registered. And further, we will be moving for the GI of these crops. So the local land races, if they are very good and they are giving good yield, then these are also released as a variety. For example, in case of red rice, we have released the local land race improved Begni as SPR 2720 as a red rice variety, and then 2795. This is again a red rice variety. Baspa, Triloki, Himwan, Hans. These are all local land races, but after improving it, these has been released as a variety of Rajmash. Likewise, Bajora popcorn in case of maize, Sangla B1 and Uday in case of buckwheat, HPL4 Vaju and in case of Kulthi, then Kangra local in case of linseed. So these varieties, they are improved further, and it has been released for the state. So here you can see the photographs of some of the varieties, especially in case of red rice. We are having two varieties, Palam Lal Dhan and Him Palam Lal Dhan. As I have already told you earlier, our trademark was Palam Lal Dhan, but after that there was controversy, and it started as Him Palam. So any variety which has been released from our university, it will be named as HIMPALAM. Then these are some of the photographs of Rajmash variety, Baspa. This is actually local landrace, but it has been improved further. And because farmers, they are having a lot of mixture in the variety. So for improvement, we have to take each and every seed and it is to be grown next year. And from that, we can have the pure lines. So these are again some of the photographs of Rajmash, different types of Rajmash, which we have collected from local uh, people of Kangra, Mandi, Kullu, Chamba, Sirmaur. Every part of the Himachal has been uh, from these land races have been collected from every part of the Himachal. So even this Pujara popcorn and so further the because this Himachal is having uniqueness in every sphere of you can say any commodity we can have uniqueness is there, and our university has constituted task force for getting GI for different crops or animal resources or breeds or products etc. during last year. And Dr. Chaudhary, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, is himself looking after the activities of these task force. Regular meetings are held and progress is updated. And on the analogy of a slogan of our Prime Minister that one district, one commodity, and vocal for local, our Honorable Vice Chancellor has pledged to have one valley, one product, because HP is rich repository of genetic resources, and he has pledged that during this 50th, 75 years, or the he will be giving almost 51 products which will be under pipeline for getting the GI. So it is the duty of our university to conserve, preserve, and get these registered and get GI tags and to get national and international recognition for the betterment of the farming community. And by getting the GI tags, as I have already told you in case of Shimla farmers, this will lead to agro-tourism also and will generate new avenues for entrepreneurship. And keeping this in mind, and during our meetings with the other crop breeders and, uh, and local land races, animal breeds, commodities, we have identified different commodities during our meetings, and it is our concerted effort to get the GI for these crops. For example, in case of rice, as I've already told you, we are moving towards a red rice GI, getting the GI of red rice, and even the Baila, which is a place near Mandi. The basmati rice of that area is very important and it has more flavor. So we are trying to get the GI for those basmati rice. At least if we are not getting the GI, we have to protect it by registering it with the PPVFRA. Likewise, hull-less barley is very important. We have to look for the GI. Maize, for this we have, although these have been registered with the PPVFRA, now we are going for the GI for maize, and with the concerted efforts of HIMCOSTE also, we are in collaboration. We are working in collaboration with HIMCOSTE, and we are really thankful to them for providing funds as well as all these informations. Then we are trying to get this GI for Karsog Fulti, Karsog Marsh, then Marsh of Chamba district, Shimla, Sirmaur, because all these varieties, they are these land races, they are very unique as far as the organoleptic taste is concerned, as far as their flavor and digestibility is concerned. So all these uh, land races, they are very important, and we are trying to get the GI for all these crops. Then Niru grass from highland pastures, these are also very important. Some potential crops like buckwheat, amaranthus, chenopodium, millets, kala jeera, orchids, bamboos. Uh, we are trying to get these registered as well as to get the GI. As far as vegetable crops is concerned, our state is very rich in having some important crops and important areas which are special for that particular crop. For example, garlic, Janjeli and Siraj Valley is very important. and this garlic is special in these areas. We have to look those areas. We have to go for GI of those areas. Likewise, ginger, Sant is very important from Sirmaur Valley. The special areas like Meridar, Baila, Mashu, Trimli, Shogi. So we have to take care of these, and we are doing concerted efforts to get the GI for a Sant, which is very special. Then red ginger is important from Data Silva. Jimikand, Jukhala Jimikand is very important, and we are trying to get the because for getting GI also we have to have full knowledge of about the crop as well as the how much time from how much time it is being grown, and what are the specialties, why it is different from other areas. So that information is to be provided. So we are collecting those informations, and our vegetable department is doing this job. For example, paprola and bajnathi cucumber or kakdi is very famous. Una gandyali is famous. Earlier it was famous, but we have to protect these crops, and we have to, once it has recognized at national and international level, we can go for more entrepreneurship and more business. And then Nadoni radish is very important. From Bilaspur, Taradi, Kachalu, Kakora, Jimikant, these are, we are trying to get the GI for these crops. All this work is going on in collaboration with the HIMCOSTE, and for potato, Barot potato is very important. Likewise, chili from Kullu and Lingru from Bajnath, which is very important. Likewise, besides this, some microbes, they are also important, like hot and water, cold water spring microbes, cold desert, salt mines. Some are phosphate soluble microbes. So all these we are trying to get the first of all we are trying to get what is important, why they are important, and then we are going for the registration of these. We are going for biochemical analysis, we are going for molecular analysis, and after that uh, we are sure that these are different from other microbes, and this area is important for getting the GI. Likewise, as I have already told you that these Pahadi cattle, buffaloes, PP horses, PP, these have been registered with the NBAGR, and likewise snow trout, golden meshie, carps, and hill stream fishes. They are also gaining very momentum because most of the tourists, they are coming to Himachal, especially to the Bajnath side area or Jogindanagar area, where they are getting these snow trout and golden meshie fishes. So especially they are coming for those. So that means we have to see that what is important in that, and we have to go for the if not for GI, we have to go for the this uh, registrations. So as already told that we are having some traditional jewelries also, which we are our Department of Homes, College of Home Science, they are taking care of the traditional jewelries of some Gaddi women, and especially the Chak and Chidi, Chandanhar, Champakali, and all these things which are very unique of Himachal Pradesh, and we have to protect those also. So to get the market also. Then some medicinal products like white honey from Bharmar, aphids honey due from Lahaul, Spiti and Kinnaur, wild mushroom, kirajadi, Spiti charma, that is sea buckthorn. So these are all having medicinal properties, and we have to take care of those commodities also, and we are trying to get the these GIs. Then traditional foods, chuk of Chamba, uh, we are having unique recipes and unique cuisines in Himachal Pradesh. Especially if we see the dhams of Kangra, dham of Chamba, dham of Mandi, all are different and all are unique. So we have to preserve those also, and like we are working on Chuk of Chamba, and one project was uh, given by HIMCOSTE to work on this, and we are almost in final stage. Then Sepuvadi, Sira, many products are there which we can get the GA for that. Uh, then in case of, as I have already, Niru grass from highland pasture, which is being grown in high areas under cold. conditions. So these classes are also very important. Then some products which have been obtained from the animals like Charkhani Pattu, Dodu, Kude, Pashmina from Chigu goat, and local woolens. So all these are very important, and we have to see the registration. So I will really thank him first day for giving us some projects, some financial help for getting GI for collecting GI information for Karso Kulthi, then for red rice of Himachal Pradesh and for Chamba Chuk and many other projects we have submitted with the HIMCOSTE, and we are sure that those will be approved, and we will be getting financial help for that also. So if you see, these are the different land races which we have collected from Himachal Pradesh, and the last 2 days we are getting, you must have heard about the news of getting the GI for 368 lines which we have collected in case of Rajmash. So we are continuously interacting with the farmers also to and giving them information. Awareness is given that we have to protect our all the materials, all the uh, things which are unique for this special state. So continuously meetings we are held for giving awareness to them. So these are the news coverage. Then Dodu red rice, which was farmers of those areas, they got the Genome Savior Award also. So, and last 2 days, Farm University has identified 360 varieties of Rajmash in state, and university plans to get GI tag for all these types. So our Honorable Vice Chancellor, he himself is taking care of all these things in collaboration with him Coste. And the news is also having that in collaboration with him Coste, we are going for the GI of these Rajmash, of which we have collected from different areas of Himachal Pradesh. And as I've already told you that Honorable Vice Chancellor, he himself is looking the activities for getting GI for ginger or Sant, which is very important from the Sirmaur district. So likewise with this, we have also published a policy guidelines for on intellectual property rights, uh, and in collaboration with the CAST project. So this is available with the university, special guidelines for how we should go for patent and what uh, things can be done in that area. So with this, I thank you the with these couplets that the earth is a garden and we are all its gardeners. We have to protect our earth by protecting all the flora and fauna of this. Saving biodiversity is saving ourselves, and we have to go for one valley, one product. And according to our Honorable Vice Prime Minister, we have to go for vocal. We should be vocal for local, and we should care for what we have, because this will be given to our future generation. If we will be protecting now, then we can give to the further coming generations. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak on the achievements of CSKHPKV Palampur, and what the efforts we are doing for further getting GIs and for towards IPR issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. This will surely motivate the students to explore glowing IPRs. Now, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Professor Sudhir Kumarji, Professor and Head in Department of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics at JayPee University of Information Technology, Waknaghat, Solan. Sir works in area of environmental biotechnology and has done research in the area of bioleaching of precious metals like gold, silver from e-waste. He imparts training, education, and promotes technology extension in the area of biogas and agricultural residues among students and society. Sir will be talking on topic role of IPRs in R&D and academic institution. Now I would request sir to kindly start.
Thank you, Payalji. Our JMS, Shri Satpal Dhimanji, Dr.Shashi, Mahotsav, and all the HIMCOSTE colleagues, and Dr. Daisy from Palampur, and all my dear participants, IPR cell coordinators, co-coordinators, faculty members, students. My topic for the day is like role of IP related to R&D institutions in innovation and in academics. So I hope that you will like this short presentation and the idea that I would like to put forward to you in this presentation. So I hope my presentation is visible to you. So as I told you, like my area here is like role of IP in innovation, research, and academics. Next slide, please. So all the faculty members, students, staff, what I would like to tell you that what is the role of IP that includes, for example, your patents, your trademarks, your copyrights. The first thing which I would like to stress upon to all the academics and the research institutions and the friends who are working in these areas, IP actually facilitates the process of taking innovative technology to market. And I always feel that it is very important to tell you with examples. Like a streptokinase was discovered, which is a clot blockbuster that is very near to us, like in Chandigarh Institute of Microbial Technology, by the team of Dr. Girish Sahani, which this team has discovered this, and with very good way, they also take this technology to an industry. And now this industry has already taken that and commercialized. So my message here is, whenever you do something in the research organizations or in academics, always take this technology to the market. So this is the one message which is very, very important. Here is a case study which is very near to us and an example for all of us. Suppose you are doing something good and you feel it is innovative, it's very important you protect your invention and reduces the risk. Because if your invention is good, your discovery or whatever you do, this is novelty is there, something new is there, go for protection, because otherwise there will be so many people will copy that and ultimately you are not going to get the benefit out of that. If Dr. Girish Sahani's team, they would have not protected this clot buster streptokinase, maybe so many different cheaper products maybe in the market, and they would have not got this benefit. And also the patient would have not got the benefit of that. So patent license is very, very important. And all those who are there in Himachal, otherwise also, please do contact the HIMCOSTE and other centers for the guidance how to protect your invention and reduces the risk. This is the first step everyone has to take. Next slide, please. Now, this is very interesting, and I would like to tell especially to the students and our young guides, researchers who have joined the institutions. Generally, what we do, there's a tendency that when the people do research, after that they feel, oh, I have something good. Let me see whether it is new, whether it is I can file a patent, and then they go for it to a center and they look for prior art search. Friends, you need to do it before conceptualization of your problem in the research. So prior art search should be done before you start your project, not after completion. So this is very, very important. All should know that any BTech, any MTech, any MSc, any PhD student, whenever you conceptualize a project, please search for some prior art search. And I also request our friends here from HIMCOSTE and our authorities that we can also have a prior art search small workshops to BTech third year, MSc, PhD students in their years of starting of their project, so that they should know how to go for the search, so that they should not end up with, oh, this is already done. I'm not having anything new in my project. So this is very important. You do the search before you start your project. This is a very important thing. Now the fourth point is, what is the benefit beyond protection? You took a patent, that is wonderful. and you got some idea protected. But at the same time, like Dr. Girish did, you have to connect to a person, to an industry, to a company, to an organization to license it. So this is something which is extremely important, and definitely you will get it. And once you have a patent for something which is good, people will come for better collaborations with you. You can write future projects with them. Funding will flow like anything. So this is a cycle. You go for IP, license it, people will come for collaborations, and you will get more and more funding. And that's the way how we grow. So IP is not only related to protection, that is just a starting point. Next slide, please. I will give you one example here. See, we all know that this is a ketchup bottle, and the inventor Paul Brown earned close to $13 million. Seems to be very simple because it is an inverted bottle, and that was actually required because that is the latent need of the customer, how to store it, and it should stand in the inverted position without leakage. He had 111 prototypes which were not working, 112th worked fine, and ultimately he licensed it with the companies and got a huge benefit. My dear friend, my young friends here, students, what the message I would like to give you? Small idea can also click. That should have some novelty, and you should keep trying. Do not be disheartened if something is not working. That's the way. One thing is not working, go for second, go for third. So keep reading the case studies that will motivate you. And also, not even that, every IP cell given by HIMCOSTE and other IP cell out of the state also, all universities, organizations, they have a policy that if you are commercializing your invention, maybe 60% goes to the university, 40% is divided among all the inventors. So it is also, patent give you some reward also. This is another benefit you are going to get. So organization recognize the inventors, those who have filed patent in your promotions, in your reward, and ultimately you will get incentives. Next slide, please. Now, here I would like to tell you one thing. HIMCOSTE has, like Madam Dr. Daisy also said, this center is known for GI's protection. Whether you talk about Kullu shawl or you Chamba Rumal and so many other things which have been registered under this. So I think rather than looking into something like what should I do, let us look around you, around your surroundings, and connect to the villagers, connect to the people around you. You will definitely look into the traditional knowledge and promotes the cultural expression. What I want to tell you, look into the Himachal biodiversity, look into the present problems, and their solutions may be lying with the villagers. So you have to connect with them. So what academics and research institution can do, you have to step up. You can't do anything, everything in the laboratory. Connect to the people. Definitely you will get so many good ideas. Common sense that prevails with the villagers is of great importance. We cannot disconnect with them. So being in Himachal, ecological sensitive area, biodiversity rich area, explore for new GIs along with the HIMCOSTE, that will have a great future. And also, this is another important thing which I would like to tell you, patent disclosure linked to R&D. Like I'm from biotechnology, I'll give you one example. In the biotechnology and in the pharmaceutical industries, what these industries do, you know, the patent has a life of 20 years. And sometimes people disclose the patent before that by taking some sort of financial incentives. All the biotechnology and the pharmaceutical and other companies, what they do, they take information from these patents and then they know this is a line of failure, this is a line of success, and they definitely reach to a step higher, and then they invent in their R&D. They don't start up just like that. They search for the patents. They search for the available technologies. That's what we need to do in the academics and in the research also. This is a present example what industry is doing. So my friends, these 8 points what I have told you, these are something I think which is food for thought and we need to do. Next slide, please. But there are things to ponder upon by the researcher. This is a small second part of my presentation, another 5 to 7 minutes. This is a truth that 97% cases of the patents, they have never been commercialized. Let us see why. Next slide, please. So my friends, I also thank one of my MTech students. We had a discussion from last 3-4 days that what are the bottlenecks? Why the people in the R&D, in the research organizations, and particularly in universities and colleges, they are not able to take up patent further of commercialization. They got the patent, it hangs on a wall, a certificate is there, and they write in their CV, they got some promotions, they got some awards, that's finished. So we identified some bottlenecks which may be very useful. Number one, very few researchers, they feel while they conceptualize something, can my idea be manufactured? Let me explain what I mean of that. In the present scenario, I am making pine briquettes in my lab. But first of all, I'm calculating what is the unit cost of making the pine briquettes. If my unit cost, my total manufacturing process costing me huge, maybe I may be better, but retailers is not going to purchase me because I have 5 times more the price. I may have a little better product. Always, first of all, think about, is my idea manufactured and it is a financially viable, cost-effective model? Don't miss that. And one thing which we all lack, most of us lack, we never constantly ring to the people in the industries, in the companies, do you need this? What is your requirement? I have this idea, I'm doing this, do you need it? So this is the disconnect between academia and industry. So that's the training, everything need to do, and interface should be connected. That's why patents, they are not commercialized. Another thing which we noticed, once you got a patent, like the patent takes 8 to 9 years, and once I got a patent, the patent attorney says you have to pay 80,000, 1 lakh because you want to renew. This is a renewal cost. And most of the organizations, they are not able to pay that because they know it is not having any commercial value. And it is something which is to enhance our number of patents in the organization. So they don't renew it. It comes to the public domain and it is not commercialized. So renewal cost is another bottleneck that the people, they are somehow not able to connect with this. Third is no follow-up with the manufacturing industry. That I told you, this is the first step we need to do. Make a financial and economic model first and then go for invention. Fourth is inventors may connect with the potential licensee. This is something like yesterday we have a meeting. We thought, I have pine briquettes already prepared. We saw the calorific value, everything. What to do? Very near to us in Waknaghat is Ambuja industry. I think this is the way we need to go. Do you need it? If you need it, use it. Tell me what is the deficiency so that I'll improve it and then I'll come to you. So this is something all inventors should do. And one question comes, my student asked me, my fellow students and my faculty asked me, should I approach the company directly? I have some idea. I can do something. I will not go to for IP protection. I will directly go to the company. My dear friends, case studies shows, history shows, when you go to the company directly, most of the time they'll say, this model is not of fit to us, but still we will pay you some money and then we will try to improve it and you are going to lose a wonderful idea. Don't go for this ever. First of all, protect your idea, then go to the company, otherwise you are going to suffer. The last bottleneck which we identified is pending status of the patents. Suppose I filed a patent in 2020. If I got it in 2024, within these 4 years, that technology must have changed. It's a constantly changing market, especially in the electronics, in the gadgets. So this is something which is another thing to ponder upon. We have to be very quick, and because technology is changing, obsolescence is increasing day by day. So these are the 6-7 bottlenecks which we have identified, which I feel is something to need to address. Next slide, please. Now, in last 2-3 minutes, I would like to tell you that we got the center from HIMCOSTE in 2018, and still now 2018 to 2022, a good number of like patents. I think if you talk about copyright and then patents and then designs, almost 8 to 10 of these in different categories have been processed by the HIMCOSTE, and patents also, which we say the major category, have been filed. Many are under process. So many workshops have been organized. So there is no doubt that we have sensitized enough to the people and also to the students around us through the IPR related activities sponsored by HIMCOSTE. Next slide, please. Just to give you a glance of that, my last slide. So total number of patents filed, international patents filed, 13 patents have been granted, patent published 7, and then patent published from other institutions, but inventors in our campus 16, patent files 2, all are under consideration with HIMCOSTE, and patent filed from other institutions with the inventor 2, copyright, design registration, all with the HIMCOSTE. So this is the overall status of the patent. But my last message to everyone is never ever go with the number. You may have only one patent in your lifetime, but that should be commercialized. So look into that angle and then go for patenting. You will definitely have a lifetime benefit out of that, and even your organization. So just getting patents will definitely help you, but go for its manufacturing, cost, and economic and financial model also. This will surely help you. And next slide. I'm so thankful to Shri Satpal Dhiman that he himself came and listened to all speakers, and Dr. Shashi ji and all our staff members here and all the participants who are there in this seminar. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Such a wonderful presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the role of IPRs in R&D.
I just had.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the role of IPRs in R&D and academic institutions. Sir has explained very beautifully how important is it to take our research to market so that it can benefit not only the inventor but everyone around us. At the same time, Sir has given answers to all the questions running in the minds of our young researchers. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to welcome our next speaker, Dr. Shashi Dharji, Senior Scientific Assistant, HIMCOSTE, and Coordinator of Himachal Pradesh Patent Information Center. Sir has done PhD in Renewable Energy from Eternal University, Bhasandrai. Sir has 20 years of experience in handling IPR issues. Sir has prepared policy on geographical indications of Himachal Pradesh and got it notified from Government of Himachal Pradesh. He has also formulated IPR policy for National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur. He is member to state level committee constituted by state government on protection, registration of GI and related issues. Sir will be interacting on topic IPR as a tool for socio-economic development of rural artisans and HIMCOSTE's effort in this endeavor.
Thank you. So as the title of today's webinar is Intellectual Property Rights, and we are celebrating Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. We are celebrating 70 years of our Azadi. And so theme for this month is Intellectual Property Rights. And every day each council in the country is organizing a webinar on this theme. So today on 5th of August, we are organizing this webinar on intellectual property rights. Also at HIMCOSTE, we are having the HP Patent Information Center, and I think all of the participants of today's program are well familiar with our center because we are having the outreach in most of the universities through our IPR cell, as well as we are organizing a number of workshops throughout the year in these universities and also through our IPR cells. So I will be covering little of basics of IPR, as most of us are familiar with the terminology and the patents and other forms of IPRs. And thereafter, I would be covering the objectives of Patent Information Center, which is housed at HIMCOSTE, and what progress we have done to help the people of the state, to help the people who are living in inaccessible areas of the state, in the tribal areas of the state, through registration of geographical indications. And also I would throw light on the patents which have been filed through our center by different universities and by different inventors. Next slide, please. So we are having this HP Patent Information Center in HIMCOSTE. This center was established in the year 1998 by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. And since then, we have started working on different forms of IPRs. to help the inventors, scientists, and researchers who are approaching us since the year of its beginning. Next, please. The objectives of our center are to create awareness about intellectual property rights. Mostly we deal with patents, then geographical indications in the state of Himachal Pradesh, and we are providing patent search facility to universities, industries, and government departments, R&D institutions in the state. And we are also providing free of cost patent filing facility to those applications which are approaching us through IPR cells, which have been established by our HP Patent Information Center. As on that, we are having 14 IPR cells, and however, 8 of them are functional now as on date today, and a few of them are not working up to our expectations. Hopefully, we will be able to activate them in the next financial year. So our objective is to analyze patent information on regular basis and suggest new programs for R&D based on such information. And we remain guiding inventors in filing their patents for their inventions. Next, please. So we can see what is the difference between innovation and invention. So whenever you can say that defining innovation is like that. You are shaping your invention as per consumer needs. That is your innovation. If your product is not accepted by the market, then you will have to shape your invention according to the market needs. So that is your innovation. And whatever you are doing in your research labs and in your laboratories, you are inventing there, that is your invention. So patent application will be filed for your invention. Thereafter, you will have to shape that invention after acquiring the patent as per consumer needs, as per market needs. So you can see these are a few examples of innovation. This is a feather pen which our elders, our ancestors used to do. And then you can see now what is the shape of modern pen and what the technology is blending and how now these pens or column you can see are changing with the passage of time. So this is one example of technology, how the intervention of technology can make new and easily usable things. This is one example of that. We can see that what is the difference between intellectual property and other forms of property, that is tangible property. So we know that intellectual property is the product of mind, and it cannot be stolen or it cannot be stored like other form of property like car, houses, but it is the creation of your own mind. So you can take control of your own intellectual property by way of acquiring IPRs on that. Next. So here it is important to note that these are 7 forms of intellectual property which were defined by TRIPS agreement. TRIPS is Trade-Related Intellectual Property Rights Agreement. It's a part of World Trade Organization Agreement, WTO, and it was signed in the year 1995. And thereafter, when TRIPS defined and provided for these 7 forms of intellectual property like patent, trademarks, copyright, designs, integrated circuits of layout designs, then geographical indication, trade secrets, plant varieties, and farmers' rights act. TRIPS ask the member countries to have minimum standards of protection for their citizens, for the nationals of their country. And after 1995, a period of 20 years was given to least 12 countries, 10 years was given to Gulf countries, and these laws were applicable with effect from 1995 in Gulf countries. So as India was developing country at that time, and we were given 10 years time. So you might have heard about at that time that in the year 2005, lot of discussion was going on in our parliament that new patent law is coming. These could be the pros and cons of this patent act, whether we should adopt it or not. So thereafter, we adopted these new patent laws and other forms of intellectual property, other laws of intellectual property in the year 2005, because we were under obligation to accept these laws by virtue of WTO agreement. and we will, as a member of WTO, as a founder member of WTO, we will have to accept all these laws which were set forth by TRIPS agreement. Next. So patent, as we all know, most of us, I think, would be knowing about that, who have almost, because the participants are from universities, scientists from universities, researchers from R&D institutions. So all of us know that a patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention, which is a product or a process that provides a new way of doing something or offers a new technical solution to a problem. So this is our patent. So now at presently, we are having 20 years time period for patent. The term of the patent is 20 years. And we can see that another form of IP is trademark. So this is the form of intellectual property which is for unlimited period. You can renew your trademark for a period up to which you wish it to renew after every 10 years. So trademark is for unlimited period, and there are many trademarks like this is Apple, and then you can see LG, Samsung, etc. All these are trademarks. So these are, all these marks are appealing trademarks. They create an appeal to the eye, and just by watching these marks, one can identify that which company the product belongs to, and you can buy immediately. You can buy a product of your choice from the company of your choice. So another important property is industrial design. So after appearance of any article, any machine, that comes under industrial design. So the time period is 15 years in this case, industrial design, but it is not unlimited as like a trademark. Next, please. Now this is copyright and related rights. So all our researchers here, I think MSc, PhD students, so they should be familiar with copyright. Copyright is an automatic right. Once you create a book, you write a book, you author a book, then by just placing this encircle C and writing the title of the book and the year along with your name, then this could be taken as a proof in a court of law by putting this encircling C on your book. So that becomes your copyright. In case you require to produce evidence, then you can mail it to yourself, and even you can post it to yourself, and that would be a proof of your originality of your work, that the book is authored by you. So this is copyright. So there are many famous examples of copyrights. So one is Vishwabharati University example, which I remain giving in many talks. That Vishwabharati University, this was at Kolkata, Shantiniketan, Kolkata. This university was totally dependent on the copyrighted work of like Gitanjali, Rabindranath ji. When this copyright expired in the year 2005, so university was not able to run that institute without any funds. So the funds were coming from the copyrighted work of Rabindranath ji. So they approached the central government and requested them to further extend it to a period of 10 years, so that in that transition period they can earn their incomes from other sources and they can manage their funds to run the university. So government, after many rounds of discussion, agreed to their request, and thereafter now the term of copyright for literary works is 60 years. Earlier it was 50 years after the death of the author. So this is about copyright. One other example is Three Idiots film. All of us might have seen this film. This was the script of the film was taken from the novel Five Point Someone, authored by Chetan Bhagat, and it was then copyright of this was taken by Rajkumar Hirani, who was the director of this film, in rupees for rupees 10 lakh only. When Chetan Bhagat realized that that film is very good and it's doing a lot of business, it's in crores and hours, millions and billions. Then Chetan Bhagat approached the court and that he was at fault when he decided and sell his copyright for rupees 10 lakh only. But court held that because you misjudge the value of your copyright. So no other is at fault, but you are yourself at mistake or at fault. So I'm just giving this example that how valuable a copyright can be. So it can do a business like 3 Idiot, and it can run a university, or even you can see that there were many music companies like T-Series, HMV, etc. All were dependent upon the copyrights of their works. Now, another important form of IPR is geographical indication. So it's a sign used on goods that have specific geographical origin, and those qualities which are there in the product should have been should be attributed to that place of their origin. So we have registered many geographical indications in Himachal like Kullu shawl, Kangra tea, Chamba rumal, as was highlighted by Mr. Sapal ji and Madam Daisy ji in their presentations. So we are further also working on many geographical indications, which I would be covering later in the slides. Then another important form is trade secret, undisclosed information. Suppose if your invention has such a potential that it could do business beyond 20 years, which is the period of patent, then you can go for trade secret, because after 20 years, the term of your patent will lapse. Thereafter, the patent belongs to the government after 20 years. You cannot work. You cannot. Your exclusive right will cease after 20 years. If you think that your invention could have run beyond 20 years, then you can go for trade secret. So it is covered under Copyright Act of 1857. Trade secret is that, like famous examples are Pepsi and Cola, where the formulation of Pepsi is not disclosed to anyone. The formulation is divided into 6 or 7 parts, and those that information is kept by 7 individuals, and those of the 7 individuals, they do not know each other, and the company is so clever that it doesn't allow even them to allow together, so that they might not disclose that I'm having this formulation of Pepsi. So this is the feature of trade secret or undisclosed information. Next, please. So IC layout design, you might have seen these circuits in the chips, in mobile phones, in televisions, wherever you see this circuit on the IC, then you can understand that this is also protected. This cannot be copied and cannot be replicated. And so this is for integrated circuit layout design. Next, please. So as we have discussed, a patent is granted by the government for an invention. It is granted by the government to the inventor in exchange of full disclosure of the invention. These are the conditions. This is one of the conditions, disclosure. If you do not disclose your invention properly, then government could deny you the patent. Next, please. The objective of patent is to encourage inventor. So one thing that I would like to mention here is that it is the government. It is a duty of the government to nurture creativity in the society. So for that purpose, government is granting patent for your inventions, and the government is doing its part by rewarding the inventors, and at the same time, government is taking full disclosure of the inventions for further working on that invention by third parties or after the expiry of the patent. So other objective of the patent is working of patented invention on commercial scale. So if you are having the patent, you can license your patent to other companies to commercialize your patent, as was highlighted by Dr. Sudhir ji during his presentation, that we are lacking on the commercialization part. Only 97%, only 3% of the patented inventions are commercialized in India, and rest of 97% are just like wall hanging certificates, and they are just for your trying to only. So most of researchers, what they are doing, most of PhD students, what they are doing, they are taking patents or they are filing patents just to improve their CVs, rather than they should go for commercializing their patents, so that they can accrue benefit of that, or even their university can earn commercial benefit from their inventions. What can be patented? This is given in detail in our Patent Act of 1970s, the BS Act, and thereafter it has been amended many times. The latest act is the Patent Act of 2005 and 15. So any invention concerning with the composition, construction, or manufacture of a substance, of an article, of an apparatus, all these are covered under patents. So any industrial type of process, these are covered under patents. After 2005, in the fields of foods, chemicals, and medicines, our country is allowing now product patents. Earlier, prior to 2005, only process patents were allowed in these fields. Now, product patents can also file for inventions related to foods, chemicals, and medicines. So, what cannot be patented? This is also given in the Patent Act. Any artistic creation, because it is subject matter of copyright. Mathematical methods, business schemes, inventions on atomic and nuclear energy, anything prohibited by national patent laws, these cannot be patented. Next, please. So, prerequisites for patent. The conditions for patentability, we can see in the Patent Act, there are three basic criteria for obtaining a patent. First of all, is that the invention should be novel, or it should fulfill the criteria of novelty. So novelty means that it should not be published anywhere in any journal, in any research journal, or even in the newspapers, etc. It should not be published in India, and also not used in India. And the search for novelty is carried out globally, so it should not be published anywhere in the world. So it should be non-obvious. Meaning is that if it's an invention in the field of engineering, then it should be non-obvious. That it means that it should be new to a person who is skilled in the art. Meaning thereby that it should be new to an engineer and not to the common people. So thereafter, it should have some industrial application. If your invention doesn't have any industrial application, then patent office would not grant patent in your favor. So these are three conditions, and apart from these conditions, another condition is the condition of disclosure. That you will have to disclose your invention in full to the patent office. If at any stage after the grant of the patent office comes to know that you have hide some information, you have hid some information from the patent office, then patent office has every right to revoke your patent. Next, please. Term of a patent, as we have discussed, is 20 years from the date of filing, from the date of filing of the application. Next, please. So patent is obtained when an inventor files the application along with full disclosure in the form of provisional or complete application. If you file provisional application, patent application, then you will be provided with 12 months by Government of India Patent Office to file complete specification. Thereafter, when your application reaches patent office, it conducts searches, patent search to ascertain the novelty of your application. Then, if it is novel, it publishes the application, conducts then examination. But it's important to note here that you will have to apply for examination. Automatic examination is not there in our patent office. So you will have to file a request for examination along with the requisite fee. Thereafter, our patent office will conduct the examination on your application. Thereafter, conducting the examination, the patent office would raise some objections to your application. Then you have to comply with those objections. Thereafter, if it is decided in your favor, the patent office will grant the patent. These are the parts of your specification. You will have to write a precise title of the invention, and then mention the field of invention. Also, as was highlighted by Dr. Sudhir, that you will have to conduct prior art search. So you will have to come out with the drawbacks in the prior art search to show advantages of your invention. Then objectives of the invention should be there. A summary of the invention, brief description of the drawings if you are having drawings for your invention. Then detailed description of the invention. And eighth and the important part is claims. So this is the only part of your application which is protected legally. That is claims. So you will have to draft your claims very carefully so that no part should be left out to any other inventor or any other company who can work upon your invention and can file a patent similar to that of your invention. So claims have to be drafted very carefully. So drawings have to be made, then abstract has to be put up in the application. So these are the parts of your specification, that is your patent application. Next, please. So the beneficiaries of patent grant are the inventor, because he's scared from the competition, because he is the only owner of that invention. He can exploit the invention for his gain. That is, he is now having exclusive right, and he can debar others from working on that invention. Then the public is at benefit, because inventions now are part of public knowledge. Now the customer or the consumer are having a product of their choice that is available in the market. So after the expiry of patent, that is open to all, and after few modification or changes, any company or the government can come up with new technology on that patent. And now after this, cheaper and better products becomes available in the market. Next, please. As we already discussed, and these are a few other documents which should be there in the patent application: bibliographic data, references to background information, complete details of the invention, drawings, and the claims. These are the part of the patent document. Next, please. So these are precautionary measures that should be taken before filing a patent application. As we already mentioned, that it should have a clear title, and you should conduct patent search before having any expenditure on filing of patent application. Because after filing, if you come to know that such type of invention was already there and it's a duplication of some another patent document, then your expenditure will be based on that patent application. Next, please. So at HIMCOSTE, we are providing patent searching facilities for inventors, and the applications which are coming to us from our IPR cells and other government institutions, we are sending and forwarding the eligible patent applications or other IP applications for financial grant and for further filing with in the patent offices or IPR offices in the Government of India. And also we are identifying traditional valuable products of good commercial value for registration as geographical indications. So apart from 9 geographical indications that we are having in the state, we are also working on 12 to 13 more products, which I'm just showing in the next slides. Then we are preparing the GI applications for our products, and we are filing with the authority in the Government of India for seeking geographical indications for these eligible applications. Next, please. So we have conducted these patent searches in the last 1.5 years. So we are in the process of receiving more and more applications from IPR cells as well as from other institutes in the state, and we are helping them by way of providing them patent search reports, by performing novelty searching for them, and we are forwarding the eligible patent applications to Government of India Patent Office, New Delhi, and through DIFAC, Department of Science and Technology, after taking financial grant for those applications from Department of Science and Technology. So in the last few years, we have sent about 6 to 7 applications which have been filed, and we have forwarded about 15 applications to DIFAC for filing of patents with the patent office. Next, please. So these are few more patent searches which we have conducted last year and this year. Next, please. Next, please. So this is the part of geographical indication, as was highlighted by Dr. Sudhir and Madam Daisy in their presentations, that we are having a policy for geographical indication in the state of Himachal Pradesh. So in the year 2004, we were the first state to have such a policy. Thereafter, this policy was again notified in the year 2018 with slight modifications. Apart from geographical indications, now we are also nodal agency for other forms of IPRs, whether it is patent, trademark, or copyright. We have been notified by the government to facilitate these IPR applications emanating from R&D and universities located in the state. Next. So till date, we are having these 9 geographical indication applications, and we are having the authorized users. We have registered about 160 families in Kullu under geographical indication Kullu Shawl. So they are our authorized users, meaning thereby that they have been authorized as per law to use the name Kullu Shawl for their products. And in the case of Kangra tea, we are having about 40 authorized users, and Kinori Shawl 15, Chambarmal 26, and a few more have been registered in the case of Chambarmal. 12 more application we have granted by Government of India, authorized usership of 12 more artisans. Then in case of Kangra painting, there are 6 artisans, actually Chulli oil 22 and Kalajira 8. In Chamba Chappal and Lolly's knitted socks and gloves, we are working on registration of these authorized users from these areas. So we are working on many other geographical indications in the next slide, please. So these are filed applications with the Government of India. One is PT Sivathon, and the other is Suluni State Maka, which have been Suluni State Maka. We have filed this with the help of CSKHPKV, and PT
interactive session. Somebody, if they want to ask some questions.
If anybody has a question, you can ask.
They're still hearing or so we are just requesting the participants, if they have any questions, they can ask from our experts, because they are, hearing, or they can give more clarifications. No? Shall I go ahead?
आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव कार्यक्रम के अंतर्गत आज इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी वेबिनार कार्यक्रम में, वर्चुअली वेबिनार में हमारे आज के मुख्य अतिथि एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी श्री सतपाल दीवान जी, एनवायरमेंट साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी। सर, मैं आपका इस कार्यक्रम में और इस वेबिनार में जुड़ने के लिए धन्यवाद करता हूं। और आज के कार्यक्रम में हमारे गेस्ट स्पीकर्स डॉक्टर डेजी मैम और हमारे प्रोफेसर सुधीर जी, जेपी यूनिवर्सिटी से। आप के सर इस कार्यक्रम में वैल्यूएबल सजेशन और गाइडेंस के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और मैं विशेष रूप से धन्यवाद करता हूं जो इस कार्यक्रम में जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स वर्चुअली हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, उनका भी थैंक्स, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अंत में मैं सभी का आप इस वर्चुअली कार्यक्रम में और इस कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाने के लिए एक बार पुनः आपका धन्यवाद करता हूँ। थैंक्स।